Hi, they're just really reporting on what seems to be the breaking news, and that is that Stephen Fleming is going to be the England Test coach. That's been reported in the Telegraph and the Guardian, and they report that he'll take the job for the Africa series in the winter. England will have Triskovsky as interim coach against Pakistan, as I mentioned in the previous video. Um, so, how do we feel about Stephen Fleming? Now he's a very successful white ball coach, but he's got the Test job, and it's another case of appointing someone as coach of the Test side, who's a Kiwi with no experience as a coach in the longer format of the game, which doesn't really make any sense. I'd be happy if he was our white ball coach; that'd be great, no issue there. But he's our Test one, and it seems like rather than just sack McCollum completely, they've had to find someone who can work with him and liaise with him as he's still the white ball coach, and the new Test coach will have to work with him. So it's all a bit of a muddle, and obviously Rob Key's still there for some unknown reason. I'm really underwhelmed about that appointment. I suppose it could have been worse, um, but again, they've gone for someone who's a white ball coach, albeit a more successful white ball coach than McCollum. Nevertheless, he doesn't have experience as coaching Test sides in a way that Gary Kirsten does, or Justin Langer does, or even Jonathan Trott does. So uh, there's a kind of a sense of here we go again. And there's one more point, and that is when we look at kind of discrimination in terms of the ECB. There's a report about kind of sexism and misogyny and things like that in the game, and racism after the Rafik affair. It might well be worth looking at a kind of self hatred, a discrimination against English coaches. So a kind of, I don't know what you'd call it, discrimination against people from your own country. So I don't know how that will be labelled, but you know, Batty's done all he can at Surrey. He's been a very successful coach, and he's doing it in the longer form of the game. He probably was the man to select it, if not Jonathan Trott, again, the ex-England international, who done a good job with Afghanistan, and they've deliberately gone for a foreign coach. Now, is there a conscious or subconscious bias towards coaches who aren't English um, in the English game? It's something to throw out there. I'm not saying there is, but the evidence suggests they're very reluctant to pick English coaches. Now, if it's a case they're overlooked because Kirsten or Langer were available, that's cool. Or when Bayliss was appointed, is a kind of, they brought him in specifically because he was such a good white ball coach, and he proved himself. This doesn't seem that way, and it just seems like they have no faith in people like Batty or Trott or Dawson. So I don't know what that says to young English coaches going through. Um, but yeah, coming through. Sorry, there we go.